I've been thinking a lot about how our lives move in seasons, just like the natural world does. There are times for endings, times for beginnings, times for growth, and times for harvest. And I think sometimes the anxiety that a lot of us feel, particularly at the moment, comes from expecting ourselves to stay in summer all the time, always blooming, always producing, always holding everything together. But we all know really that life just doesn't work like that. We have winters too. We have fallow seasons as well. And there's wisdom to be found in all of that. Winter is the season of endings. It's the time when things go quiet. We may grieve, we may close down, we may feel the need to withdraw. But winter also gives us rest. It clears the ground for what comes next. And personal winters don't always have to last a year. Sometimes they last weeks, sometimes months, sometimes much longer than we expected. And what matters isn't the calendar. What matters is the lesson. And then we have spring. So spring is the season of fresh shoots. It's when we try again. We test new ideas, new directions, and new ways of being. Things can feel a bit tender here, but this is where rebuilding begins. And spring doesn't only arrive in one neat season of the year. Sometimes it comes in the middle of our lives after grief, after disappointment, after a long pause. Then comes summer, the season of growth and connection. It's when we enjoy what's taken root. We may find ourselves sharing more, building more, living more fully. Summer is where life can feel warm, alive, and visible. And sometimes it's the season that we just wish would never end. Which brings us through to autumn, my favorite in the real world. Autumn is the season of harvest. It's when we receive the fruits of what we've grown. It can bring us recognition, abundance, and completion. And then gradually it invites us to let go again. Autumn reminds us, I guess, that nothing stays fixed. I think our personal lives move like this too. And some of the biggest changes in my life have come when I stopped resisting the season that I was in. My own path has changed in ways I could never have predicted. And I'm learning to trust that change has its own rhythm, even though that can be really difficult. I left the UK at the end of 2018 to travel solo across Europe and beyond, just for a year, is what I told myself and everybody else. I'd spent the previous years, decades, building a life as an entrepreneur, running businesses, helping other people to start and grow their businesses, writing books, speaking on TV and radio, appearing at events, winning awards, and valued for my knowledge and insight. And I returned to the UK last year after 7 years, not one, with a growing understanding and realization, I think, that my old life just didn't fit me anymore. And I proceeded to go through my own personal 16-month winter. I no longer wanted to be the business person or even the face of something at one point, not even myself. Traveling had, amongst other things, awakened a deeply spiritual side of me that had always been there, but hadn't always been acknowledged. But the biggest challenge was that I didn't know what I did want to do. Everything I tried felt wrong. And that was supposing, of course, that I could make a decision as to what I wanted to do, because I was changing my mind as fast as I made it. As soon as I found one thing I vaguely liked the idea of and then gave it a go, multiple other things began to fall away and end. And the thing I'd originally liked the idea of became untenable, or the opposite in the end of what felt right. And eventually I realized that I needed to let it end. I needed to let it fall away. There was no point trying to force things, to bring things to a conclusion. I had to let it happen all in its own time, because the endings and the falling away was in fact the beginning. And as I did so, I let it go, I let it fall away. My energy began to return, and my decision-making focus finally became sharper. And the mental fog that had plagued me for over a year began to just disappear. And amongst all of that, I realized that I was being pulled towards embracing a simpler, calmer, and more rooted life, releasing all of the emotional baggage, the physical stuff, cluttering up my storage unit that I hadn't needed for 7 years. I'd literally traveled with a backpack or a small suitcase, so I likely didn't need that stuff now. And I also needed to release the outdated version of who I was and who I am now. And I wanted to walk ancient paths. I wanted to sit in nature, in meditation, to feel the energy of ley lines, to watch birds and animals and the fields and the skies, and to listen more closely to the guidance of ancestors. And I wanted most of all to build my own home, a tiny wooden home deep in nature where I could live more honestly and let the person I am underneath all of the coping strategies and the performative societal masks that I think we probably all carry finally breathe. No more complicated than that. I wanted the honesty that I speak to become the honesty that I live. I wanted to live alongside nature, watching the seasons outside my window echo the seasons within my own body, within my own life. My own spring, I guess. And so in many ways, I believe modern life pulls us away from these natural rhythms that we see outside. And so much of life now keeps us indoors looking at screens, surrounded by artificial light and noise. Many people barely see the stars or feel connected to the land in the way our ancestors once did. And I think something in us knows deep down when that connection is missing. I also think that this matters because so many people are feeling anxious and unrooted themselves right now. It's why I wanted to record this video. The world can feel very overwhelming, but nature reminds us that life doesn't have to be lived in a constant state of pressure. We can step back, we can breathe, we can remember that we are part of something larger and wiser than the noise around us. So if you're in your own personal winter right now, I hope you can remember that winter isn't failure, far from it. It's a time of rest, of release, and of quiet preparation. And if you're in spring, summer, or autumn, may you recognize the season you're in and let it teach you what it is here to teach you. We don't need to force ourselves to bloom all year round. We think we do, but we really don't. We are part of the natural world, and the natural world knows how to change. And as I continue moving through my own personal season of change, I'll be sharing more of that journey over on my other YouTube channel and on Substack under the name of Snake and Pen. I'll put the links below. But for now, I hope that this video has offered you a little peace and a reminder that you are part of the same living rhythm as the natural world, and as such are just as loved and supported. And to end, and I hate doing this, but if you're here for the first time or the 100th time, I'd be really grateful if you would give the video a thumbs up, please. It helps you so that you can see more of what you want to see. YouTube recognizes that. Make a comment, of course, if you would like. And if you're not subscribed, but you would like to, please do click the subscribe button. It does all help with the algorithm. And as I said, it makes sure that you see more of the type of content you'd like to see. So thank you, as always. Much love to you. And I'll be back again soon. Take care.